Hello everyone, Cappuccino here. So today we'll be looking at the Daiwa rocket strategy, which is gonna be a pretty good strategy for Gemini and one of the other races that's coming like not so soon. But for now we'll be looking at the rocket Daiwa for Gemini in general. I will teach you how to why does it work? How can Daiwa win against goldship, who has like the most speed in late game wise, and how did she wins against that? So how did Daiwa wins against goldship? First off, you have to understand this graph first. But just ignore everything else. Just look at the VT graph. Like basically, this is the velocity to time graph on the Gemini Cup. So your normal Uma is gonna run like this, right? Because the race is split into three parts, as you can see with the graph movement. Right, the first leg is between this and this right here, around this part right here. This is the first leg, and after that it's gonna be a long middle leg until around this part. And when the graph start going up, that's like the final leg, which is the spurt, basically when your Umas like start spurting. Okay, but this is the normal situation, right? But for example, right, if you proc your goldship ultimate, what's gonna happen, right? If you look at the blue graph versus the red graph is when the skill is not activated versus when the skill is activated, right? If you activate the speed skill like goldship ultimate, your speed goes up a little bit for a limited amount of time and then goes down. This is how normal speed skill works. This is basically the speed skills, right? And then there is acceleration skills, which is good only when the graph is going up, right? So it's gonna be good like around here or last spurt 2, which is gonna be very good. Why? Because that's just how acceleration works, right? But for example, if I procs in crushing shadows like Daishin Go at the right time, like at exactly the spurt timing, the thing that's gonna happen is my speed goes up a little bit faster than the late line. Like you see that I boost my acceleration when the graph is going up, when the speed got uncapped basically. And yes, Uma Musume, right? Your Uma speed got capped to a certain point. They can't go more than that unless you proc the skill or until the last spurt. The last spurt is like on the last spurt, like your speed got uncapped to a certain point, right? So that's why you want to accelerating up. So that's why when you activate the acceleration skill, this happens. You go to the top speed like way faster. As you can see, like the graph here is pretty steep. This is because this is the duration of the shadows, right? Until the end of the shadows, like the graph like stop being steep and then like go back to normal pace again. And yeah, that's just how like acceleration skills works, right? And then there is like a dip here before the final leg. This is the pretty famous Kyoto race course Tenno Sho spring for the uphill, right? So when you're facing an uphill, they can't really speed up. Like they are a little bit stuck, and then they can get out. Depends on how much power stat you have. They get out the like uphill, right? And then they can start spurting because the uphill is on the spurting, so it's kind of a little bit of weird things going on in here, right? You kind of go to the top speed a little bit slower, right? Even with the good like shadows, you even like get a dip here before going up, right? But the thing is, it's a little bit different when Daiwa's procs her skill. So Daiwa skills procs after the first half of the race, which is gonna be the half of this graph, right? And when she reaches the first plate, and then when there's someone's behind her, she's gonna pop her ultimate, which is gonna be a hybrid ultimate. It's not necessarily like speed or acceleration. It's a hybrid ultimate. The graph become like this. So why is this happen? So as you can see, she popped her out right here before the spurt started, right? And then she got hit by the uphill. When she got hit by the uphill, like she got stuck a little bit, right? Look at this. But then when she get out, look at how fast she goes. Like look at this. This is because her hybrid ultimate increased the acceleration while increasing the speed too. So the speed increases basically negating the uphill effect, make her like faster than other Umas while the other Umas are stuck in the uphill, right? She maintained her normal speed, and then when the last spurt hit, she gained like extra acceleration so she can accelerate faster than anyone else, right? And then you basically go faster. And then when the duration ends, right, like her normal speed doesn't reach the top yet, so she's forced out a little bit. This is not much of a problem because it only dipped down a little bit. You already reached like max speed anyways, right? Like you're on a top speed already, even before like autos must, as you can see. That's why you can gain a lot of distances. So with that graph in mind, we're gonna take a look at the race itself and see how it works in the race itself. Okay, so this is a Daiwa rocket. I'm gonna like skip to the part that matters, which is gonna be like the middle leg until the end of the race, right? So in this way, we use a Mayano Top Gun as a rocket fuel, basically. So this the reason why we do this is because Daiwa's skill, a unique, only procs when she's at first place and there's someone behind her. This also works when she overtake from second place to the first place, like, because the first place that fall down to second is immediately behind her, so she can proc her out immediately. So what we do, right, is that we make our runners weak, a little bit weak, right, and then let our Daiwa on pace overtake the runners a little bit before the last spurt happens. Like as you can see from the graph earlier, right? If you do that, like you negate the uphill speed down effect, right? And then you're basically, it's called carryover, speed carryover. So as you can see from the clips here, right, my Daiwa's overtake Maya at the right timing, right? And then like she speed up a little bit, and then when the spurt hit, you can see when the spurt hit, like she starts spurting, which is a good thing. And then you can see that like my Daiwa just start moving up before anyone else, right? She's just shooting herself like a rocket. This is why it's called Daiwa rocket, because her speed moves up faster than anyone else. She's gained a lot of distances, as you can see, right? And then you start bombing your like speed skills, and then again, even if goldship like reach her top speed right now, she's trying to catch up, right? Look at that, she's trying to catching up with us. And as you can see, like goldship does have like more speed than our Daiwa, but the thing about our Daiwa is like she gained a lot of distance while she like rocketing in the last corner, and then she just wins the game with that. So if you can like have the graph on, and you can see how the character movement is, you can see how the race end like this. Okay, so here are the stats of the Uma use except Mayano. The guys that like lent me his like footage says that the Mayano is a really generic Mayano, so I think it's gonna be pretty like generic. Max speed, like not max speed, maybe 900 speed probably good enough, and then like stamina is probably whatever, and then high power and high int. It's kind of like this, or you can do the normal build too, that's fine, as long as she wasn't too strong that your Daiwa can't catch up, right? You just want to have your Daiwa to catch up. The other thing that I have to note is that this strategy for Daiwa specifically doesn't work when first there's another like front runners in the race that's like way stronger. So like as I explained earlier, like if you have a runner that's too strong, it's gonna like your Daiwa want people to overtake it, and she's gonna lose her timing and then not procs it on time. The same goes for the other runner. When there are another runner on the field that's not yours, right? There's a chance that they are good runners and your strategy just falls down, right? Because their Daiwa can't get first, basically, right? Yeah. So because you have to get your Daiwa off in a specific timing. If you miss the timing, your strategy kind of fall apart. Like that's just how the strategy works, right? The other thing is Sea Sky all doesn't really strong. So on a map like this where Sea Sky all isn't really a strong ultimate, right? People won't be running front as much, so that opens space for you to like use the Daiwa rocket. And if the Saiyan Sky ultimate are strong, you better use Daiwa as a front and inherit the Saiyan Sky ult yourself. That's way better. Like most of the time it's just way better to do that than to like do this specific timing things. But on specific map like this, the Daiwa rockets kind of make sense, right? Because we don't have any other reliable like acceleration skill or good like speed skill to use except like Daiwa herself, right? So after you have, that's kind of what you have to understand about this strategy. I hope you understand how this Daiwa rocket works right now, because this understanding is not like applicable to Daiwa only, right? It goes to Christmas Okri, right? It's gonna be very meta later on, like having this understanding of this speed carryover phenomenon or strategy, if you call them that. Speed carryover strategy will help you later on when you have like when you can read the skills of other Umas, and I'm like, wait, these skills can be used like effectively, and is this speed skill gonna be used effectively, or okay, we can use another skill for this. You can use this knowledge like in a lot of ways and utilize it as well. So I hope you understand that, and yeah, that's about it for the Daiwa rocket. If you have any question about the strategy or anything, to be honest, feel free to drop it down below in the comments. Subscribe if you like. I'll be doing more like analysis video like this. I think I like explaining niche ideas like this, like it makes you like, I think the game is more fun that way. So I'll see you in the next video.